Hello everybody, this is Julissa. Thank you so much everybody for coming back to my channel. Thank you so much to everybody who is listening right now in the podcast. It is Sunday, March 9, 2025. I wanted to come here and speak about the mysterious disappearance of a college student celebrating spring break in the Dominican Republic. She went out to walk on the beach and she has not been seen since, and this is very tragic. We have to be so careful, you guys. I know a lot of people are traveling right now or will be traveling the next couple of weeks for spring break, and just be just be aware of your surroundings, especially if you're going to a different country, especially if you don't even speak the language. Okay. So before I continue, I want to say thank you to everybody who's watching this video on YouTube. Thank you so much for watching and subscribing, and of course thank you to everybody who's listening using the podcast on Pandora Podcast, and Spotify. Thank you so much for being here. Like I said, a lot of people are going to be traveling the next couple weeks. Be aware of your surroundings. We're living in a very different world now. The past, I think, since the pandemic, there was like a change that happened. A lot of people are struggling, right, with many things. One of them is mental health, and they could be, I'm not talking about her in particularly. I'm talking about just people who are just out there trying to do harm to others for no reason whatsoever. That's why we have so many attacks in the subway system, so many random attacks, innocent people being attacked, killed, and a lot of stuff. I know, we're praying that she's found safe. To be honest, you guys, and I know maybe some people might argue with this, but when it comes to people vanishing during vacation, we hear that happening a lot in different countries, right? I think a couple of videos I made about Aruba, people missing in Aruba. Like, I don't want to mention the names of the country because, it varies. I mean, anybody can go missing anywhere, right? But what I'm saying is that cases like this are not really, heard normally from the Dominican Republic, okay? That's just statistics, nothing, I'm not going to say anything about it, but we'll pray that she's found safe. Let me read to you exactly what happened, what's going on here with her. University of Pittsburgh student, a 20-year-old college student, has been gone missing after a walk on the beach, okay? University of Pittsburgh student went missing during her spring break trip to the Dominican Republic, and authorities say she was last seen strolling on the beach. Sudisha Konanki, a 20-year-old student, went missing while on a trip with her friends to Punta Cana, a small town of eastern edge of the island's nation. So we know, I think everybody, you guys know that I'm from the Dominican Republic. And when people find that out, that people that I meet, they always say, oh, we have gone to Punta Cana for vacation and we loved it. Punta Cana is a very popular vacation destination spot for everybody who wants to go to the Dominican Republic, who wants to travel to the Caribbean island. Usually Punta Cana is like the top three destination that they want to visit at some point. So, and it's been, Punta Cana has a great reputation of being safe, from what I know, right? It could, now that I heard nothing like negative, not everywhere you have to use precaution, right? You have to be aware of your surroundings. You have to remember you're a tourist and things like this. But from what I've known, Punta Cana to me it's always been like a safe place to go for vacation. Okay, the student was last seen at 4:50 a.m. local time on Thursday at the Rio Republica Resort, according to the missing person poster shared online. The same poster described her as being 5'3" with black hair and lists the clothing that she was wearing when she disappeared. She was wearing a brown bikini, earrings, and an ankle and multiple bracelets. She was walking the beach at 4:50 in the morning. That is a little concerning, just to be honest. That early in the morning, um, that's a little concerning to me, because it's not like, I'm sure the beach is not crowded at 4:50 in the morning, right? Regardless whether you're in a resort or anything like that, 4:50 in the morning is usually, not a busy time for a beach. So that's the part that to me is a little concerning. So it says here, the University of Pittsburgh released their own statement saying they are working with local authorities in Virginia and authorities in the Dominican Republic to try to find her. Photos of rescue asked for by Defensa Civil, a search and rescue team, has been posted online. I'm looking at it right now. I'm going to see if I can put them on the video. With dozens of people in orange jackets combing the island and searching for her, and that began this past Saturday. We reached out to the authorities for more information. So far, no, they have not heard back yet. So some people are saying, this is just people commenting about the case, that it could have been that she was drunk and that she went to the ocean and something happened. I think that I mean, I really hope that's not the case, right? It's just, we need to find more information, because when people plan trips like this, especially to a different country, normally, from what I know, from what I've seen of these cases, normally they don't, if they're going to go with a group of friends, they create this type of safety, we'll go together to the beach, or none of us will go by ourselves. Or, if you're going back from the restaurant back to the hotel room, you kind of walk with somebody all the time. And if you're traveling alone, normally you don't go to the beach at 4:50 in the morning, like at 4 in the morning. That's crazy. So we really hope that she's found safe. It says here that she traveled with a group of friends over there. So I wonder what her friends are saying. Okay. Let me see if I can get more information for you guys. So I'm searching right now, because it's very strange. You know who's coming to mind? There was that what was her name? A couple of people have gone missing that go to yoga retreat in Costa Rica. I think one person was. So it's just, and of course you can never forget about Natalie Holloway, right? It's just that every time you hear about somebody going missing after going for vacation in the Caribbean, I always think about Natalie Holloway and everything that happened with her, and how, I would never understand this. This is just my opinion. How you go in a group with a group of people, and you guys are in the same, let's just say in the same class with the same group of people, planning this trip for months. You go together, one of you guys goes missing, and then the group returns back home like the next day. Like, what is that? Like, I would never understand that. So it says here that, let me just see if I can get more information. Like I said, she's actually from Virginia. That's where her home is. That's why they're saying that they're working with authorities in Virginia and Pittsburgh. And they're also working with the Indian Embassy. And because she's originally from India, or her family is, right? University officials said they are in contact with her family, and as well as, like I said, authorities in Virginia, and they have offered full support in the efforts to find her and to bring her home. A haunting photo taken before her disappearance showed her smiling at Punta Cana Resort shortly after she vanished, wearing the same bikini that she went missing in. So, wow, I'm sure, she probably posted that on Instagram. And let me just see. She looks very happy. You always have to remember, too, this is why you always have to be aware of your surroundings. And if you're traveling with a group, make the effort to never like walk by yourself, right? Especially if you're a different country. Like a tourist will always stand out, and you have to understand people from like let's just say the locals, they will know who's a tourist and who's not. And when they see young girls, you just never know. Like I said earlier in the beginning, from what I know, Punta Cana is a safe place. A lot of people use that as their vacation destination. From what I heard from, and not just one trip, they usually go often. Um, but you have to remember that, you know, they also have a lot of staff working, and it's just it's a crazy world. People might follow you. They might see, if they notice that you're perhaps drinking too much at a bar, and then you're by yourself and things like that. Just be aware of your surroundings and be aware that somebody's checking on you. So let me just see here what people are saying also, because it's very, it's very it's very sad that she's missing now. But like I said, they mentioned that she went with a group of friends. So what are her friends saying? That's the thing. Who was the last person who talked to her? I wonder what if they already, were interviewed. Because your friends will know. The friends will know, especially if you're traveling together. It could have been so many things. So she said she was gonna go for a walk before heading back to the hotel room, and she looked fine. Anything, right? Anything. When something like this happens, you want to know any details, even if the person might think it's not really relevant. It sure is. Let's see here. I'm trying to see what other people are saying about this. And somebody said, hopefully this doesn't end badly, although the fact that she has been missing for so long doesn't look good for her. And somebody said, when you go to these places, you can't leave the resort without quality, better security. People don't understand what lurks in many of these destinations past the resort's gates. And that's very true. She walked outside the resort area, very dangerous. So I didn't know that detail, that she actually went outside the resort area. That could be concerning, but even more than walking on the beach around that time. Because if you're walking outside of the resort area, you're outside of the security that they have implemented in that resort, right? So they're saying the sunrise over there is around 6:45, and she was last seen around 4:30 a.m. So, I always, like I said, I wonder what her friends are saying. I wonder what her friends are saying. Like, how do they see her? I do understand too. Sometimes, a lot of the times, people they say, "I don't need you guys to come with me. I can just go by myself. Don't worry about it." But if you know, you if you've been there for some time, you see how people are. I guess the way they treat you, or they might be a person who works at the resort that just seems too much, trying to figure out where you're from, what are you doing, how long you're gonna stay, things like that. Just be smart and be like, somebody can come with me. He's, this person who works here is asking a lot of questions. I'm sure everybody knows that by now. I'm just saying sometimes, we can take this additional friendliness to be like, oh no, he's good. He asks a lot of questions. There's nothing to it. You really never know, like I said, right? And they've been searching for her since the early hours of Saturday yesterday. So I wonder, so when she has gone missing, it is not, listen to this, it is not immediately clear whether the group traveling with her has returned from the trip or whether they were with her when she was last spotted. That's a little odd. How can they not know that? Who reported her missing? Who said that she was missing then? Um, so just okay. People are saying she should have never wandered away from the group. But there are key points to this story that I just read, and I was reading different articles about the same thing. We need to know who reported her missing, right? Because they're saying they don't know if the group that she traveled with has returned back home, has returned back here. Like, so who reported her missing? And when was her family contacted? Who saw what the person who saw her last from the group? How was she? Did she say she was just gonna go for a quick walk on the beach or something? Did she meet anybody? Was she being friends with whoever, some attendant, somebody, right? That she was gonna meet up or something. There's a lot more information. I really hope that she's found. So we keep the family in your prayers, guys. I'm gonna put the poster on the post so you can share that too. Like I said, a lot of people are traveling these days, or will be traveling for spring break also. So we're gonna share the poster here. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming back to my channel. If there's an update, I will definitely come and put it here. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming back to my channel. Thank you to everybody who's listening in the podcast. Have a good day, everybody. God bless.